Let them go, Shenzi!
We'll end here! Don't let them get away!
Zarzu warns Shenzi that attacking would spark a war with Mufasa. She never listens. Panicking, he hides under a rock before scrambling up a dry tree for safety. Zarzu flies to locate Simba and rushes back to inform Mufasa.
There he is!
Without delay, Mufasa charges into the gorge, weaving through the stampede to rescue Simba. At that moment, lightning strikes a nearby tree, igniting a fire below.
Kill him.
Welcome to Cephastock Movie Recaps. Today we delve into the details of The Lion King full movie recap. If you're new to this channel, please do subscribe and let us know where you're watching from in the comments section. Your support is greatly appreciated, my dear friend. Thank you.
Taka, please.
Long ago, Mufasa was betrayed by his brother, Taka. Facing Kiros the White Lion alone, Mufasa fought valiantly but was ultimately defeated. Watching his brother struggle, Taka's jealousy turned to pity, and he stepped in to help. However, Kiros slashed Taka's eye, leaving a deep scar. Desperate, Taka begged Kiros to spare Mufasa, but Kiros, consumed by rage, refused. United by survival, the brothers fought Kiros together. Rafiki caused a tremor, collapsing the cave and flooding it. Kiros pursued Mufasa, determined to drown him, but a falling rock gave Mufasa the opportunity to send Kiros plunging into the waters below. Exhausted, Mufasa swam towards safety, but Taka, torn between envy and guilt, hesitated before choosing to save his brother. In the cave, Sarabi found Mufasa, and together they emerged, moving out to the triumphant cheers of the animals chanting. Mufasa was crowned king for his bravery and for uniting the kingdom.
And I knew it would be.
Mufasa.
Later, Mufasa confronts Taka about his betrayal but offers him forgiveness, though he refuses to call him Taka anymore.
Then call me Scar.
Bitter, Taka renames himself Scar, forever marking the moment.
Your Majesty.
It is your time.
Years later, under Mufasa's rule, the Pride Lands flourished. As the sun rose over the kingdom, animals gathered once more at Pride Rock to celebrate a new dawn, full of promise and hope.
There's more to see.
They come to witness a special moment, King Mufasa and Queen Sarabi introducing their newborn cub, Simba. With the sky glowing in golden light, the Pride Lands embraced the arrival of their young prince, a symbol of harmony and promise. Rafiki, the wise mandrill and trusted advisor, gently lifts baby Simba high above the gathered animals. As the skies open in a breathtaking display, the kingdom watches in wonder. One by one, they bow in respect to their new prince, honoring the future of the Pride Lands in a moment of unity and reverence. A little mouse, scurrying for a meal in its surroundings, comes across the vicious Scar, Mufasa's jealous brother, who is lamenting his misfortune.
Not fair.
Before Scar can devour the mouse, is interrupted by Zarzu, who warns him of Mufasa's arrival. Defiant, Scar declares he answers to no one.
Scar, no.
Could have a bite together.
As Scar tries to make a meal out of Zarzu, Mufasa arrives, confronting him.
Must have slipped my mind.
Scar bitterly laments being denied the throne now that Simba is born, then walks off, leaving Mufasa and Zarzu puzzled by his defiance.
That a challenge?
You are no match for his royal.
Zarzu quips that if not for Mufasa's mercy, Scar would have been banished long ago, joking about his own odd cousin who thought he was a woodpecker, got concussed regularly for slamming his head into trees. Mufasa walks away baffled and thoughtful. Later that night, Rafiki sits by his tree, carefully arranging bugs to create a drawing of Simba on the bark. As he gazes at the stars, he softly chants Simba's name, his voice filled with hope and reverence.
Simba.
The night sky glimmers above, reflecting the promise of the young prince's future. As Simba grows, his curiosity knows no bounds.
Dad, you awake?
Before sunrise, he eagerly wakes Mufasa, excited to explore the Pride Lands. Despite his grogginess, Mufasa joins his son on the morning patrol. Leading Simba to a high rock, he points to the horizon.
Look, Simba,
Explaining, everything the light touches is our kingdom.
it's like the sun.
He tells Simba that, like the sun, his time will pass, and the kingdom will one day be his to protect. However, Simba is warned to never venture beyond the shadows. When Simba questions why lions eat antelopes, Mufasa explains the balance of the great circle of life.
Our bodies become the grass in the great circle of life.
Yes, sire.
Zarzu arrives with the morning report, and Mufasa uses the opportunity to teach Simba how to pounce.
It's never.
Suddenly, Zarzu reports hyenas in the Pride Lands. Mufasa orders Zarzu to escort Simba back to the cubs as he rushes to join Sarabi in confronting the intruders. As Zarzu guides Simba back to the other cubs, Simba gets distracted chasing a beetle. He stumbles into Scar, who skillfully tells Simba to always stay low to catch something but also insists he's no babysitter.
I'm gonna be the king of Pride Rock.
Instead, Simba brags about ruling the kingdom and Scar inclusive.
Is that so?
When Simba asks about the lands beyond the Pride Lands, Scar slyly reveals it's an elephant graveyard he must avoid. Knowing Simba's curiosity, Scar cunningly plants the idea, expecting him to explore the forbidden place.
It's our little secret.
Eager to explore, Simba finds Nala mid-bath and gets one himself from Sarabi.
Mom!
Behind the ears.
He invites Nala to the watering hole, but Sarabi insists they take Zarzu along as a chaperone.
Zazu!
On their walk, Simba reveals to a hesitant Nala that they're actually sneaking off to the watering hole without Zarzu. They plot to shake off their watchful bird. Zarzu, spotting them, remarks how cute it is to see two betrothed cubs together, which grosses out Simba and Nala.
Simba, you speak bird.
They quickly insist they're just friends.
Ew!
Zarzu reminds them those are the rules, but Simba confidently says he'll change the rules when he becomes king, joking that he'll do whatever he wants. As they continue, they lose Zarzu in the crowd of animals.
Simba, we really lost him.
Simba brags about his clever plan, challenging Nala to see who's smarter.
Pinja!
In the midst of their playful debate, they accidentally roll into the elephant graveyard,
This must be it.
completely unaware of the danger ahead. Simba and Nala venture into the eerie elephant graveyard.
Found it, Nala.
Though Nala is nervous they've gone too far, Simba is excited, bravely leading the way.
I laugh in the face of. You hear that, Nala?
Pay for dinner?
Yeah. We have talked about this before.
While exploring, they're confronted by a pack of hyenas, led by Shenzi.
Mufasa does not rule me.
Let them go, Shenzi.
Zarzu swoops in to apologize for the cubs,
Will end here.
warning Shenzi that attacking would spark a war with Mufasa. She attacks. They meet more hyenas, and Simba's growls make them laugh and urging him to try again. A loud roar echoes as Mufasa arrives, fighting off the hyenas. He orders Shenzi to retreat and never to make that attempt again, but Mufasa is upset at Simba as he takes him and Nala home. Zarzu asks Mufasa not to be too harsh on Simba, but Mufasa insists on teaching him a lesson.
I have to teach my son.
He sends Zarzu with Nala and talks to Simba about disobeying him and putting them in danger. Simba defends himself, saying he wanted to be brave like Mufasa.
That I could be brave like you.
Mufasa explains bravery comes when needed and admits he was afraid of losing Simba. He cheers him up, saying the hyenas were scared of him. They sit, and Mufasa shares how the great kings watch over them and one day he will watch over Simba too.
Be up there to guide you. Keep looking.
Mufasa is strong. I need some personal space.
Back at the hyenas' hideout, Azizi mocks his brother Kamari, saying he wasn't brave enough to face Mufasa. Kamari vows to do better next time, but they're startled when Scar suddenly appears.
And yet I send two little cubs.
Scar complains that he sent the cubs but yet the hyenas failed to kill them. Although he then promises the hyenas the Pride Lands as their hunting ground if they join him, Shenzi challenges him, asking how he can offer what he doesn't control.
Mufasa's far too powerful to challenge.
Scar reveals his plan to kill Mufasa and take over the Pride Lands.
That hyenas must do.
He tells the hyenas that under his rule they will have full bellies. Scar convinces them to help him kill Mufasa and Simba, offering them hunting rights in return.
Be prepared.
He urges the hyenas to prepare for the greatest coup in history. The next day, Scar tricks Simba into going to a gorge, telling him it's the perfect spot to practice his roar. Simba, eager to impress, follows without question. Scar leaves him there alone. Once Simba is distracted, Scar gives a secret signal to the hyenas, who quietly begin to move into position. Unbeknownst to Simba, danger is closing in while Scar plots to take advantage of the situation. Simba freezes in shock as a wildebeest stampede thunders into the gorge, driven by the hyenas. Panicking, he hides under a rock before scrambling up a dry tree for safety. Scar alerts Mufasa and Zazu, claiming Simba is trapped. Zazu flies to locate Simba and rushes back to inform Mufasa.
There he is!
Without delay, Mufasa charges into the gorge, weaving through the stampede to rescue Simba. He saves Simba but is dragged back by the herd, struggling to climb a cliff. Out of Simba's sight, Scar grabs Mufasa's paws, says "Long live the king," and pushes him off the cliff, sending him to his demise in the stampede. Simba watches helplessly as his father falls into the chaos below. He runs down, calling for his father, and discovers Mufasa's body, tearfully pleading with him to wake up and calling for help.
Somebody help!
Scar finds Simba lying sorrowfully beside his father's lifeless body and tells him it's all his fault that Mufasa is dead.
What have you done?
Fearing the consequences, Simba asks Scar what he should do, and Scar orders him to run away and never return.
Who causes his father's death? Run away.
After Simba obeys, Scar sends the hyenas to chase after Simba and kill him.
Kill him.
Simba outruns the hyenas to a cliff's edge, where he and one hyena fall.
Go down and make sure he's dead.
Shenzi tells the others to confirm his death, but they decide to lie, claiming they ate him. Meanwhile, Simba is later seen slowly descending the hill, continuing his exile into the wilderness.
Mufasa's death, and little Simba, who had...
Believing Simba is gone, Scar tells the Pride that the stampede claimed both Mufasa and Simba, feigning sorrow over their loss. Hiding his deceit, Scar steps onto Pride Rock and assumes the role of king, granting the hyenas access to the Pride lands. From afar, Zazu and Rafiki watch in silence, mourning the tragic deaths of Mufasa and Simba, their grief heavy in the air. Simba wanders alone for miles until he collapses from exhaustion in a scorching desert. A flock of vultures swoops in, ready to feast, but they are scared away by Timon, a witty meerkat, and Pumbaa, a kind-hearted warthog.
I just feel like it would make me feel better.
It's a furry bird!
Initially alarmed to find a lion cub,
It's a lion!
they debate whether to leave him or keep him as a future ally when he grows into a full lion.
It might not be such a bad idea.
They decide to help and revive Simba, who wakes up still devastated and blaming himself for his father's death.
Doesn't matter.
Timon and Pumbaa humorously remind Simba that they saved his life and encourage him to forget his painful past and embrace their carefree way of living.
The world turns its back on you, you turn your back.
They introduce Simba to their motto, Hakuna Matata,
It means no worry.
and share stories of their simple, stress-free life without rules or responsibilities.
Hakuna Matata.
Incident soul.
Pumbaa emotionally recalls how loneliness and shame over his embarrassing gas made him an outcast until he embraced Hakuna Matata.
What a wonderful phrase.
It means no worry.
If you want to live with us, you have to eat like us.
Simba learns that the other animals are friends, not food, and adopts their bug-based diet.
Hakuna Matata.
Slimy yet
Satisfying.
That's it! We live.
over time, Simba bonds with the duo, growing stronger and more carefree.
It means no worry.
Under Timon and Pumbaa's playful guidance, he matures into an adult, finding solace and joy in their unique world of freedom and laughter. Under Scar's rule, the Pride lands fall into ruin as the hyenas consume everything, leaving no food or resources. Nala, worried about the Pride's future, shares her concerns after Zazu warns them of the looming danger. However, Zazu is chased off by the aggressive hyenas before he can offer more help. Sarabi tries to reassure the lionesses, urging them to stay strong despite their worsening situation.
Our time will come, Nala.
Scar, growing more arrogant, proposes that Sarabi become his queen, promising her better treatment and food.
Won't you join me, Sarabi? You chose Mufasa over me.
Sarabi firmly rejects him, refusing to compromise her dignity.
I will never be your queen.
Enraged by her refusal, Scar spitefully feeds the hyenas the rest of his kill, leaving only scraps for the lionesses. That night, Nala attempts to slip away from Pride Rock under the cover of darkness.
Just what do you think you are doing?
Zarza spots her and warns her of the danger if Scar finds out. Unfortunately, Scar is still awake and grows suspicious, noticing something unusual. He begins tracking the disturbance, getting closer to catching Nala.
I'm Scar! I thought he was a woodpecker!
Thinking quickly, Zarzu creates a diversion, drawing Scar and the hyenas toward him. His bold act gives Nala the precious time she needs to escape unnoticed.
Simba, it's you!
One morning, Simba leaps out of a bush, waving his paws wildly, scaring an antelope away from its breakfast. But he's only chasing butterflies, confused why the antelope ran. Timon and Pumbaa explain their version of the circle of life, twisting it to ensure Simba doesn't think about eating them. They humorously tell him that everyone simply avoids crossing paths with others until life runs its course. To keep him busy, they assign Simba a task to come up with a plan for the day. Simba, unsure, decides on a meal of termites.
Time to eat!
After a long day munching on grubs, the trio lies on their backs, gazing at the stars. As Timon and Pumbaa share wild guesses about what the stars are, Simba recalls Mufasa telling him about the great kings of the past watching over them.
Royal dead guys watching over. Outcast. Royal warthogs.
Timon and Pumbaa laugh it off, leaving Simba quietly bothered. As he walks off to be alone, some fur from his mane flies off. It's carried by the wind, lands in a river, and is picked up by a bird building a nest. Another bird tosses it, and it ends up eaten by a giraffe. After being expelled, a beetle rolls it downhill until it cracks apart. The fur continues its journey, carried by ants to a tree in the Pride Lands. It reaches Rafiki, who senses Simba is alive and bursts into joyous celebration.
Simba!
He's alive.
Timon and Pumbaa stroll through their lush home, joyfully singing "The Lion Sleeps Tonight" alongside their animal friends. The animals chirp as they join in harmony, creating a lively atmosphere. The duo prances carefree, laughing and enjoying the peaceful moment in their vibrant jungle haven. The peace shatters as a hungry lioness attacks, chasing Timon and Pumbaa. After a frantic race, Pumbaa is cornered and exhausted. Out of nowhere, Simba leaps in and tackles the lioness.
Nala? It's me, Simba!
Overjoyed, Simba reunites with his childhood friend, while Timon and Pumbaa, still shaken, humorously joke on their near escape.
I thought he was dead. I thought I was dead.
As Simba asks Nala to stay, they wander off to catch up.
Where you going?
Timon and Pumbaa watch nervously,
They'll fall in love?
realizing their friend might be falling for the newcomer, fearing their carefree days are ending. Meanwhile, Simba and Nala feel love blossoming but silently wrestle with unspoken fears of losing one another. They gaze deeply into each other's eyes while exploring the jungle, their bond growing stronger. Timon and Pumbaa, watching from afar, are certain their happy trio is doomed as the lions grow closer.
I told you. Isn't it great here?
However, the happiness is short-lived once Nala tells Simba he must return home because of Scar's actions.
You need to challenge Scar.
She explains how the Pride Lands are suffering under his rule. Simba feels guilty and refuses, not wanting to face his past. Disappointed, Nala leaves, frustrated by his stubbornness and unwillingness to listen to her. Simba wanders off by himself, lost in his thoughts, when he suddenly meets Rafiki. The wise baboon surprises Simba by claiming to know Mufasa.
Mufasa, I know your father.
Curious and confused, Simba insists that Mufasa is gone, but Rafiki shakes his head and smiles, saying he's alive. Intrigued, Simba follows Rafiki deep into the jungle, where the old baboon promises to reveal the truth. Rafiki leads Simba to a quiet lake and asks him to look into the water. At first, Simba only sees his reflection, but as Rafiki stirs the water, Simba notices his reflection morph into Mufasa's face. Suddenly, Mufasa's voice echoes from the sky, his face appearing in the clouds illuminated by lightning.
I don't know how to be like you.
Having you as my son.
Mufasa reminds Simba that he has forgotten who he is and, in doing so, has forgotten his father. He urges Simba to remember that he is the true king. With newfound determination, Simba rushes to find Nala, and together they return to the Pride Lands.
Come on! What are you waiting for?
To Simba's shock, they find his homeland barren and lifeless.
I didn't want to believe you.
Danger.
Your Majesty.
Vowing to fight for it, they meet Zarzu, who is overjoyed to see Simba alive.
Tata, we were concerned.
Moments later, Timon and Pumbaa arrive, explaining that they followed out of concern. Seeing the desolate state of the Pride Lands, Simba realizes the urgency of stopping Scar.
Follow me.
United, the group prepares to confront Scar and reclaim the Pride Lands. To create a distraction, he assigns Timon and Pumbaa to act as live bait for the hyenas, allowing them to sneak toward Pride Rock.
Your dinner.
Watching from afar, Rafiki grabs his staff, ready for what's to come.
My old friend.
Scar confronts Sarabi, forcing her to obey, but she resists.
I am 10 times the King Mufasa.
Simba spots Scar hurting his mother and roars. Scar freezes, mistaking Simba for Mufasa's ghost.
Alive.
Simba's unexpected return leaves everyone stunned.
Your reign is over, Scar. Are you with me, lion?
Together, they demand Scar step down as king or face the consequences. Scar, cunning as ever, shifts the blame to Simba,
What is he talking about?
accusing him of causing Mufasa's death, which Simba admits.
It's not true. I'm sorry.
He admits it. Your fault he's dead. Do you deny it?
As Scar approaches menacingly, Simba backs away and slips, clinging to the edge of Pride Rock. At that moment, lightning strikes a nearby tree, igniting a fire below. Confident in his victory, Scar leans in and gloats.
I kill.
Scar then whispers to Simba that he killed Mufasa.
You killed him!
Annoyed, Simba forces a confession from his treacherous uncle,
Murderer!
igniting a fierce battle. Meanwhile, Pumbaa, tired of running, stops when the hyenas mock him as shabby, quickly making them regret it.
You feel better, Pumbaa?
I do.
You got that?
Shanzi lunges at Nala, but Nala fights back fiercely. Zarzu, cornered by hyenas, tries reasoning until Rafiki charges in, swinging his staff. Timon and Pumbaa join, ramming through. Nala overpowers Shanzi, scattering the frightened hyenas in panic. Simba chases Scar to the edge of Pride Rock, cornering him.
It's over, Scar.
Scar pleads for mercy, blaming the hyenas and claiming he planned to punish them for Mufasa's death.
You wouldn't kill your only uncle?
I'm not like you.
Simba orders Scar to leave forever, echoing the command Scar once gave him.
Run.
Pretending to comply, Scar suddenly hurls embers into Simba's face, starting a fierce battle. Simba ultimately overpowers Scar, knocking him off the cliff. Scar survives the fall but finds himself surrounded by the hyenas, who overheard his betrayal. Fueled by anger, the hyenas turn on Scar,
Kill us.
ending his reign as they tear him apart in the shadows below.
Is never full.
As rain falls over the Pride Lands, it quenches the fire and renews the earth. With the hyenas gone, the lionesses gather solemnly at Pride Rock. Zarzu and Rafiki gesture for Simba to step forward. He ascends Pride Rock, pausing at the edge as Mufasa's voice gently echoes, "Remember?" Strengthened by his father's words, Simba lets out a mighty roar, claiming his place as the Lion King. Over time, the Pride Lands flourish again, brimming with life and beauty. As king and queen, Simba and Nala watch proudly as Rafiki presents their cub, Kiara, to the assembled animals, marking the continuation of the circle of life. Thanks for watching. Please do subscribe to our channel if you haven't and let us know where you're watching from in the comments section. Your support is greatly appreciated, my dear friend. Feel free to click on the next video. Thank you.